This film doesn't actually come out in the UK until the end of this month, but last night there was a mystery horror screening, which was this film. So I've technically seen it early, but because it's been out in America for 2 months, I don't feel like I've seen it early. And because of that, spoilers by the way. I was looking forward to this film because I really liked Talk to Me, Raka Raka, Filippo Brothers' first film, so I was curious to see if they were going to be a one-hit wonder. Thankfully, they are not a one-hit wonder because Bring Her Back is really damn good. The film's initial premise and setup is fairly cliched. The brother and sister enter foster care, get adopted by this weird eccentric lady who seems really nice, but there's actually sinister stuff going on behind the scenes. But any familiarity there quickly disappears and does not become a bothersome thing because the film really draws you into its story, both the horror aspects, but really, mainly, the character aspect. The characters, their emotions, and the themes of family and grief are front and center, and that's what shines the most. The horror aspect is really strong, and that's what makes the best horror films. I always say this, when both of those things are in a horror film and merge perfectly to make an awesome package. And that's exactly what Bring Her Back does. For starters, Andy, the older brother, I felt really sorry for this guy when you learn his backstory about his dad being abusive to him, and now he's trying to right those wrongs and be a true brother to his stepsister Piper. And when Laura, Sally Hawkins' character, starts manipulating the situation, trying to paint him as being this abusive asshole brother when he's just trying to actually be a good brother. It really got to me, especially the scene where Laura comes in, punches Piper in the face while she's sleeping, gives her that black eye, and it comes in and she straight up just attacks him with all these accusations of abusing the sister and just being really mentally unfit to look after her. And it's the big confrontation, it all comes to a head. And my heart was pounding because I was just so invested in the drama and I wanted Andy to just, quite frankly, punch Laura in the face and take Piper and run. But Laura, Sally Hawkins' character, is also a very complex character. In terms of the film's formula, she is technically the antagonist of the film, but she's not a, well, I want to say she's not a bad person fundamentally, but she does some very bad things in the film. But it's all because she just wants to bring her back. She wants to bring back her daughter. So she's a very sympathetic antagonist, a very understandable antagonist. But also at the same time, when she's manipulating Andy and painting him in a really bad light, oh, it's one of those characters that just gets under your skin in all the right ways, and Sally Hawkins knocks it out of the park. Tremendous job. Same with the actors who played Andy and Piper, the brother and sister. I don't know their names, but they should be in more films because they also did a terrific job. As I was watching the film, I was starting to piece the plot together with certain visuals and character cues that it was giving me. It doesn't feel like exposition, it's just really clever in the way you start to notice, oh wait, she's doing this because of this, and that's happening because this needs to happen. And it was just really cleverly put together that way, and I just enjoyed the film taking me on that ride. And because I was so invested in the characters and compelled by the individual points of view and reasoning, I got really into the film in the latter part, like when Andy gets the social worker to come and check out the house. And I thought they were going to go the cliche route of her not finding anything, walking out and being like, sorry kid, and then he gets in trouble. But instead, she finds out, and you're like, oh my god, get out of there. And then when Laura runs them both down, again, my heart was pounding out of my chest. That's how into the film I was. And I'm not gonna lie to you, there are a couple of times in that finale where I almost teared up. Seriously. On the horror side, like in Talk to Me, there is some really, truly top-notch practical effects and makeup work in here. Like when Ollie is eating the knife and just crunching it and it's going into his gums. Oh my, ugh. And then later on, when he starts eating the kitchen counter, you see his teeth digging into it, and then he starts pulling skin off his arm and eating that. Yeah, I squirmed really bad. Bring Her Back was stunning, compelling, intriguing, and definitely unnerving. Very well acted from all involved, the two kids, Sally Hawkins, and I'm telling you, just 2 films into their filmography, Raka Raka, the Philippo brothers, are already one of my favourite pairs of horror directors working right now. Chris Stuckman, you've got a lot to live up to.